Check, check, check. What's up, guys? Thanks, Richie. I did not trade today. I traded last night and I took the day off because I was reeling from a just massive mistake of not sticking to the plan. My See if I can pull it up and see if it you guys probably can't see this. It's kind of small. Let me do let's just do this and let's go to this was my entry last night. Whoops. This was my entry last night at 534 on a short on NQ. I tightened up my stop and I my target was 380. So I'll show you why. I was looking at was it the hourly? Where was it last night? So after I got off the stream, we started fading off. We had this two up that failed, right? Red two up, started coming back through, and I was targeting the bottom of this range. So I told multiple people I am setting my take profit at 380 and I need to walk away. I should not touch this trade. This is what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. And I closed this position and it killed me. It just kills me because, let me get this out of here. Because it would have been, I had, 20 micros on this position. It would have been an $8,000 trade if it hit target. And then with the news candle that we ultimately got that pushed things down to about 241, another 100 plus 140 points. So about another 4,000. So it's between $8,000 to $12,000 that I missed by just not sticking to what I intended on doing. And so I think, the lesson out of that for me is going to be, when I'm in a trade that's going to take several hours to play out, or potentially just set my take profit, partial at least, and then walk away and get away from the screen, not micromanage positions. And so I ended up locking in about 800, and then I had FOMO trying to chase, and I ended up hitting daily loss limit in that account. So super upset about it. Did not want to trade today. I just went to bed and slept pretty much all day and just try to get my head on straight here because I didn't want to start revenge trading. I did start a couple or traded a couple combines after that. I got one, let's see, I got an XFA that's on life support. I've got two XFAs that I need to turn around. Like I needed that big win last night. I was actually short in all three funded accounts and with the same plan and I just didn't stick to it. Hit DLL in all three. So super, super frustrating for me. Um, because I had a good read on the market and where I expected price to go, and I just didn't let it play out. So completely on me, but I got an XFA more than half passed, another one more than half passed, and another one just shy of 50%. So I'm going to trade combines off the open here. I've got my all of my combines linked together. I'm going to copy trade three, but I'm going to sit tight on the XFAs for a minute until I am kind of past this mental block that this feeling that I got going on. I don't want to revenge trade. I don't want to teach the market a lesson. It doesn't usually work. So we're going to see if I can get some backup XFAs in the pipeline past in case one of them is one of my XFAs is basically just about done. Where is it? I got balances minus 1416 with a 1488, max loss limit. So I got like $70, 170 with they give you $100 of wiggle room. So that's going to take either some babying, which maybe I'll try a micro two and see if I can just get in a longer kind of a intraday swing position on that. But right now, I'm going back to I'm sticking with combines for now. So I do trade these a little more aggressively. So maybe that will be interesting or more interesting. But Globex has been pretty kind of blah. But we do have a 4 hour, we get an hourly outside bar, but we get this 4 hour shooter hammer. So I'm looking to short this if we break the low. There's not much magnitude here, but we could, this could get going to the downside. I mean, I'm at, we're trading against continuity. So I'm going to be careful or at least aware of that. But that's what I'm looking at going into the open here. And really probably going to take it a little easy just until like that. I needed that confidence boost. I needed that big win last night. It would have been amazing. Would have made my week slash month. So, for being the 4th of February to kind of have put in 8 to 12,000 in an XFA would, is a solid for me. That's a good month. And then been picky the rest of the month. But, that's why we really need to stick to our plans. And for me, it means not micromanaging, not trailing the stop too tight. If I stop out, fine. Like I had my stop originally here was in I started off red. I was about red 180 bucks. So I had my stop up here 528. Um where if I stopped out I would be back to break even on the day. And that's what I wanted to kind of stick with. I was kind of trailing my stop down, which is fine to do. I could have left a little more, not been so aggressive, but I don't even think I got stopped out here. I think I just ended up closing and anyway, like crazy frustrating for me. That's like the third kind of close to five-figure trade that I've mismanaged in the last 2 months. So, but it happens. Trying to live with it. What's up, Mig? Just going to, tweak some things, adapt, improve, get better. But it does sting. I mean, it stings bad. That's why I just didn't. I thought it would be better not to trade today. The only other setup that I saw, and I got up about 8 a.m. to let my dog out. She likes to wake up nice and early, but we had this inside bar that broke bull, but it was on the 6 a.m. flip. And by the time I saw it, we had already hit magnitude. We had already taken out the high of this candle. So, I just the way that I was feeling, I wasn't going to chase. It ended up we ended up getting follow through, new high a day. But yeah, it happened at a time when I wasn't paying attention to the charts. So, I'm glad that I got to catch up on sleep because there wasn't a whole lot in here. This kind of inside bar, this 1-3 broke bear, no follow through. We reversed. It's a 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock candle, the open. So give this a second, see if we come back and tap this 4 hour trigger. Close this gap maybe and then back down, possibly. I'm going to take a little starter short here. Again, these are combines and I trade them much more aggressively. Let's see if this retriggers, I'll add again. And if it keeps going, then I will stop out. You know what? We did hit 4 hour target already, though. That's the only thing I don't like. So I'm gonna be careful here. If this doesn't look like it's gonna roll over, then I'll probably just close it. Tighten up my stop. Not willing to risk a whole bunch on a smash sell on the open kind of trade. See what we got on like the I mean this could go outside 4 hour, so here's the 4 hour, right? So inside bar, breaks bear, hits this target. I was looking for more. I would like to see more follow through to the downside, but we do have continuity to the upside. So when this goes green, we could get a one potential outside bar here. So switch over to the 1 minute. Put my stop a little tighter. Again, I don't want to risk a lot. I'll add if we kind of retrigger the 4 hour to the downside. See who gets the party started, Bulls or Bears. Closing. No reason to stick around. I want to see, the 4 hour get back and forth. More downside if it re-triggers. I can jump back in a short, but it's things are, buyers are here, so I'm not gonna fight them. I do like the 4 hour for the take a shot at a long. Whoops, a little tight. Trade the red to green move. It was actually the entry was 562 on NQ, so down here. So a little late on this, but if things stay bullish, I think we get to over high of yesterday, 694. Pop out on this one, then I'm just gonna chill for a minute, wait and see what sets up like on a 15 or 30. I think we had some earning. I think Google had earnings earlier at the close. Like this either now. Give it a sec. Equal lows, we might go back down, says Richie. Very possible. We'll see. I mean, I like the short, but we just hit, we hit the 4 hour target and we got a green candle for the open. So, but buyers would need to, kind of need to show up here, keep the momentum going. Curious to see what happens on the 15-minute flip. If we break the high. I'm closing this one too. Let's just wait. This is the 4 hour trigger here. We'll try one more time. I'm willing to be a little more reckless in these combines because my goal is to get the three grand profit target as quickly as possible. So I usually, will I don't want to say I'll be this flip floppy because that was kind of, I'm gonna try the short, it doesn't work. Try the long, it's not working. My original, I'll go back to my original, and then after that I'm like just gonna have to wait. But I'm willing to take more losses in combines because, at the end of the day, it's just a $50 reset. Now I don't want to burn these. I'm copy trading three. Two of them are about $1,000 away from passing. So, I don't want to be, I'm not going to do anything crazy, but I'm willing to jump in and out a little bit more than I ordinarily would in a funded account. Got a 5 minute inside bar, closes in about a minute 15 seconds. Would like to see that break bear. I'll add to this. I want to see the 1530. I want to see all the, us get underneath the open. So open on NQ is 562. We are close to flipping it red. So broke the 5 minute inside bar bear, but not currently in force. See if we get another push down and new low a day would be give me more confidence. Where do I want my stop here? Let's see. Probably about 74. Kind of where it is. The only thing I got to work with right now is the 5 minute inside bar and flipping the candle colors red. You can see we got green 15, green 30, but close to getting these under the open. But other than that, there's, I don't have like setups on any other time frames. Inside 12-hour, inside day. So not great setups, but for a combine, I don't care nearly as much. Struggling to keep it down there. Trying to go outside fiber. Stopped. Got to wait for something on a bigger time frame here. I want to take a bunch of paper cuts, but and we've got, what I would consider, at least on the smaller time frame, these, this mother bar kind of issue going on. Even though it's a decent size range, we need to get out of that in some meaningful way, or we just kind of chop around here. So I'm gonna be patient for something, a next trade attempt. We've got two down green on the 15, on the 30, on the 4 hour. Sorry, on the 60 and 4 hour. No clear direction. Even if we go outside fiber, once we go outside bar, anything is possible. A 15-minute flip in a minute. Could be a decent long. We'll see. There's outside fiber almost. Whoops. That's what I was watching on my other screen. Bears tried to get this going. That's where I added and had my stop at about 50% mark of this candle because if they start pushing this up, we've got the potential to go outside bar, which we did. It's nice and clear here on the 5 minute. You can see stuck inside. Got a rev strat on the 15 minute. Probably take that if that breaks and gets outside of that opening 5 minute opening range or 15 minute. And then if I strike out again, I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I haven't eaten yet today at all. Pretty much just slept and wallowed in my sadness of missing a, you know, banger trade. AMD had earnings too. How did AMD do? let's look at AMD. So AMD initial pop and then selling off. Close to triggering the 15. Feel like it's going to be a late entry to get in here, but 15 in force. Little pivot machine gun on the 15er. Give this a little room for a second, but we'll tighten my stop up. If it pulls back a little bit, I'll just add to it again. Mark the 15 here on this chart. There's the 15. So we want to get back over that. Also get back on my 2-minute charts. If this doesn't work, then that's going to be a wrap for me. I'm going to hop off. Already taken 4 trades. It's kind of a lot in the first 20 minutes. Another reason I'm trading these combines because until I am, a little in a better mindset, I'm not going to risk kind of like revenge trading sort of behavior. See if they can turn this around. Not looking great. I did add, I was so close to stopping out that it adds a little risk, but it pulls back my um, entry price a bit. 5-minute shooter. Trying to break to the downside would not be ideal. So keeping an eye on that. If the buyers can save it here, I get back over the 15 trigger rev strat. It's that line I got marked. If this gets going, I'm thinking I might just leave this to see if we get the 4 hour outside bar or the 60-minute 322. Just leave my stop here, walk away, set my take profit. I just let the trade play out. But got to get back over the 15-minute trigger to have like any confidence. And struggling to get it done. 21545. What's 21545? Support? Yeah, I don't. It's not my. I don't. I know people who trade support and resistance do great with it. It's not. We look at those. Those are our targets or entries. Got two 5 minute shooters now. We got a minute and 16 until we get this 5 minute flip. If support and resistance works for you, that's awesome. I don't knock how anyone trades. If you find if you're using supply and demand or volume profile or footprint charts or RSI or EMAs or the strat or some combination, even ICT, that's fantastic. I think any way that you can figure out how to make it. It's mostly for me, it's strategy is like 20% of trading. A lot of different ways to trade and make money. It's mostly about managing risk and controlling emotions. I'm going to get stopped out. Don't do it. Just stuck in this 15-minute opening range so far. Not been having a great go at Globex Open. The last like 2 weeks have been really difficult. Stopped out. Yeah, I'm not gonna take another trade. I gotta wait for. I need a higher time frame setup. I mean, I still like the 4 hour potential outside bar and the 60-2-2, but I'll have to wait for the 60-minute flip or at least the 30-minute flip in 4.5 minutes. When's this 2 minute close? 9 seconds. Still like the bull trade. I can't shake it. Might have just added a little too aggressively. I don't know. I think it was worth a try. just chopping though. 5 minute shooter, shooter. See, 5 minute shooter, 5 minute shooter. They're kind of trying to hold this together, but we got to stay outside. We got to get outside of this. Like that's it's as simple as that for me. Get the 15 back in force. Want to add, but like we got to flip here in a minute 20 on the 30. So I've already taken, I feel like this is a bit excessive, but sometimes like you got to go with your gut. Like I feel like this is going to be a nice trade on the 4 hour. That's the time frame that I like to trade. So I got to go with, what the charts are telling me. See what happens on this flip. I was gonna hop off, but I might stick around for the 60-minute flip. I'm a bit starving, but sometimes we gotta make sacrifices, right? Green Day wants shorts. I can't get on board with that. Originally, yeah, that's what I would have liked to see too. I mean, I also just prefer shorts. I love to see the market crumble. The moves happen quick. You can, you know, usually make a lot of money. Here's the flip, but sellers not really doing a whole lot. I mean, neither are buyers, to be fair. But the fact that we've got failed two downs on the 30, the 60, I got to go with that right now. All right. I'm going to change up this 15 and we're going to mark the 30. So inside 15, inside 30. I just really like this, this right here. 3, 2, 2, back up to the highs. Oh, Green Day said old message looking for long. All right. All right, I can get down with that. Let's do it. You in a position? Are you waiting for like a 30-minute up? I really want to add. I mean, I want to add. I just need a good reason to. I want to get in a sizable position to potentially get the 60-minute up, but don't want to jump in early and take another stop out. That's for sure. That would be kind of frustrating. I just did that. I scaled into just mini size. In already, but tight stop. Let's go, right? And this has kind of been uneventful here. We got this. What was the opening candle range? Was 40 points. Last, what is this? 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We've been stuck in an 18-point range. I mean, I know things don't move a lot during this, during Globex, but I'd like to see like a little more something something. It wasn't that long ago during Globex we had, off the open. I mean, of course there was a 4 hour setup, but I mean it almost gapped down to magnitude. But, like 3 weeks ago I hit a $1,400 trade right off the open in the first 10 minutes. Like where's that volatility? Let's bring that back. Kind of stuck in this. Oops. Stuck in here. I don't know if anybody traded last night. Last night was wild. I mean, after that big sell off, it was. Oh, let's switch up my screen here. The order book was so thin, price was jumping around 10, 20, 30 points. It's kind of wild. Worst part is I even after so I would got I was out of my trade. I was up like 800 and then I chased and I was down to pretty much break even. And then I caught like a $600 trade. I'm going to stop out here on the move down and I just didn't quit while I was ahead. So that was another reason I got frustrated with myself is, I could have gone to bed at least up 600 in a funded account and I didn't. So 15-minute is breaking to the downside. It's just a two up, just 2-2 reversal. Nothing special about it. Inside 30. They're gonna make my life difficult tonight. Just have to wait for something on the hourly, which probably what I should have done originally. I mean, fine to take one or two trade attempts. I think I overdid it a bit, but it's all right. The way my combine trading experience, like I think on one of these combines that is close to passing, and last night I was down, I'm gonna say 900, and then quickly scaled into three minis on a nice push. Got so I made the 900 plus 1500 or four. I think I closed it at 1450 or something. So I don't get too panicky. If I get down about a grand in a combine, that's a little difficult to kind of bounce back from, or can be. If I let my brain go into kind of panic mode and worry about just trying to recover losses, that's usually when things go sideways. If I just patiently wait for good setups and scale in, I can recover. But I usually don't like it to get too, that deep, especially on an account that's more than 50% past. I did blow one up, I think it was yesterday. It was 50% past. I hate that so much because, you only need like another day or two to get a funded account. I was just not in a good place with my trading. Was mostly just looking to pass quickly instead of take good setups. People say, other traders, successful traders I follow talk about it all the time. It's process over profits, and it's an annoying kind of little saying, quote, process over profits. Okay, sure, but it is true. It's if you focus on the money, it's a lot harder to make the money. You focus on good setups on the charts, the money is like secondary, right? It just you end up with money if you're taking good trades. But when I just start smashing buttons, trying to quickly get the 1500 I need, I do dumb stuff. I oversize. I, don't scale in to winners. I'm just not sticking to like the game plan. And so I get annoyed at myself when that happens because I know better. I've been doing this long enough now that I know you just got to stick to the plan. That's sometimes the plan works, sometimes the plan doesn't work, but you have to follow the rules, you have to stick to the plan and, live or die by the plan. Can you get out early if things aren't working well? Sure. Like you can make some little adjustments here and there, but general, I think you should have a directional bias, a setup that you're looking for, and then enter your position, have your stop set, have an idea where you want to take profit or start scaling out, and let price do what it's going to do. You stop out of that trade Green Day? Richie says, I'm still looking short. I hate longing with equal lows, especially since we haven't had any bullish momentum. Yeah, I mean, right now, this is just pretty sideways, right? There's inside 30-minute, pretty tight range here. Until we get the day or the 4 hour or the hourly back in the red under 562, then I'll lean short, but as long as we stay above the daily open, I got to be looking for longs. But longs aren't really getting it done here. Buyers just not. There's not a lot of evidence in either direction, right? Not a, sellers aren't in control, buyers aren't in control. So we got to wait until the market goes on to easy mode. It's some kind of a trend going, higher lows in one direction or another, or lower highs. 15-minute flip in 2 minutes. Not really interested in anything until we get the new hourly flip in 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Not a huge fan of where we are in the daily, right? We're kind of get rid of this. Like the inside bars don't always bother me. It depends on where they're at. Like if we're gonna get this day moving to the like if it's an inside bar but we're close to taking yesterday's high or the low, then I'm much more interested in taking trades, directional trades on smaller time frames. So inside week, inside month. So we gotta keep an eye on things bigger picture. Really wouldn't mind if we stay kind of side, if nothing really gets going, if this hourly doesn't break bull and we just kind of stay chopping around here. I would like, this potential rev strat to the upside. I still like moves up. But we got to keep an eye out for headline risk. I know the Canada Mexico tariff situation kind of cooled off. China dropped some tariffs on us last night. That's why we had the sell off. But market recovered better than I would have expected, honestly. It's held these. Look at this. Which, as straters, we like to see these double bottoms get taken out. It didn't happen. Actually held up, and then I think I was trading over in here, right in this section, and caught along, and then went to bed. I think once we started going sideways here, and it was really tricky. The order book was so just jumpy. It was really hard to trade, and I finally convinced myself like, you missed the good trade for the night. Go to bed. And then I think while I was in bed, I took this like hammer candle long. I was just looking on the smaller time frames, and I got put 1400 at an XFA, and then finally went to sleep. But it's just like a slow grind higher here until New York Open. Kind of sad I missed this, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't have traded that well the way I was feeling last night. So it's not that big of a deal. I just kind of let it go. It was nice to not feel pressured to have to trade. Like made the decision that I just wasn't going to trade today, and I didn't enter a trade. The last trade I entered was at whatever it was, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then went to bed and just didn't get up for New York. Didn't feel the need to jump into a trade in the afternoon. I was gonna kind of peek in on the charts around 1 or 2 o'clock after lunch, see how things looked, but managed to talk myself out of it and just say, you know what, let's just kind of regroup here. You miss a big trade like that, or at least for me, it's I go into this mindset of like, I missed the best trade ever. I'm never gonna have another. There's never gonna be another opportunity like that ever again. You know, like you were in a position, it was a winner. All you had to do was not micromanage the trade. But the truth is, you know, at any time a great trade setup could present itself, and we'll have an opportunity to make some money on that one too. All right, Richie, I'll see you, bud. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is he still here? If I need help, I'm coming to you. I hope just with math homework and not the kids. Inside 15, inside 30. Nothing going on, guys. Just stuck. An hourly flip in 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Definitely got my eyes on that with a 30-minute inside bar. Maybe we break the 30-minute inside bar bull. We get the hourly going. Get the 4 hour to go outside bar. So we have a potential domino trade setting up, but there's work to be done. Let's take a peek at tilt. Let me refresh just to make sure it's updated. Yeah. We got 47% long on NQ, 53% short. Not surprising when we're chopping around here. Long average 581, so basically break even. Short average is at 78, so just a little bit underwater. A lot of shorts on CL and GC. Let's take a look at GC. Okay. Don't know why, but 4 hour inside. I'm going to set an alert on this. I want to know when this 4 hour inside bar breaks. Case NQ isn't doing much. Take a look at oil. Oil just, again, you see something like this, and sometimes I find myself getting stuck in these plays. And Sarah has mentioned that it's one of the things that Rob told her kind of often about why trades weren't working is mother bar problems. Sometimes I kind of don't look left all the way like I should. You see how price just isn't, there's no clear direction here until we get outside of this range. So even when the range, there's like, oh, you're like, well, that's a nice big, what is it here? 72 ticks. Like I might be able to catch something in here. It's not a great place to be trading. That's kind of what we're up against here on NQ at the moment, where I had this opening range and we're basically stuck inside it. We did poke above a little bit, went nowhere. Poked above again, went nowhere. And we're just stuck in here. We're just chopping around. Seller's trying again. Just marking the daily open on NQ. Because if we're above that, I'm looking for bullish trades. If we're below it, I'm looking for bearish. Kind of as just a general rule of thumb. It's not, a hard rule. But if we're red on the day, typically I want to be looking short. If we're green on the day, I want to be looking long. Just kind of keeps me out of trouble, right? If the day is nice and green, need a really good reason to short. I don't want to trade against the, daily buyers or sellers. If it's red and I'm trying to long and, the day is red. Really try and focus on the 60 in the day as my, the continuity I zone in on as a day trader. So longs are currently underwater, shorts are just in the green here. This is Top Step Sim. Anyone who's trading sim accounts, not anything I take trades off of, but it's good to get kind of market sentiment on who's positioned where. And sometimes I use it as like an inverse indicator. If you've got like 85% long in NQ and I see a short setup, those numbers will flip really quick, right? If you've got everybody long and they're starting to get burned, you can get some selling pressure from longs exiting, trapped buyers. Just kind of a cool feature they have. Like to keep an eye, it's just things on my radar. Like if I like gold, for example, 72% short. So I'll just take a look at gold like we did earlier. Say, is there a good reason to be short here? Not yet. But we've got all-time high exhaustion risk potential on GC. NQ not doing a damn thing. Still 30-minute inside bar. Here's the flip in 2 minutes 50 seconds. And it looks like we're going to open inside hour if things stay the way they're looking. Matt says sometimes you got to get up to get down. That is true. Sweep that liquidity and then get the party started, right? Fill those orders. Look like anybody is winning right now. You get into a short thinking the short's going to work here, and then, boom, buyers, you get some buyers stepping up here. It's making your life difficult. Longs have shorts making their life difficult. It's just a bit of a battle. Do we have, let's check financial juice. See what we got coming up tomorrow. February 4th. So we want to look at the 5th. Employment change at 8:15. All right, so maybe if the market's slow tonight, I'll just go to bed early, wake up for employment numbers. We got services PMI. Then what do we have later in the week here? Initial jobless claims at 8:30. Then non-farm payroll or unemployment. See if we can get sellers to flip the day. Here's the flip. So inside 60, and the 60 is not looking as good as it was. We were much closer to closing near the highs earlier when this candle was nice and green, and now we've got a shooter-like kind of candle. And we opened inside. So this is not going to be as interesting for me as a buyer where we're at. I got one more episode of Yellowstone to watch. I don't know if anybody's watching that show, but I know that the most recent season, the last season ended. I was not following along as they were coming out. Someone in my family was begging me to watch. We were both watching the show, separately, but when the new season started airing, they were like, "Come on, let's watch." And I said, "I can't. I'm trading. I can't." So we've been speed watching the last few episodes of the season, and it's been great. Really good show. Let's check chat here. Matt said thought about shorting at 90, but just keeping power dry for a change. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. Like I wish I had not taken so many trades, but it's all right. Better to be relatively smallish red. I need a good higher time frame setup to trade to get into. 30-minute inside bars breaking bear. let's mark the 30 here. Let's drag this down here. So 30-minute inside bar at daily continuity. Tempted to try another short, but I don't know. I'm a little conflicted. We got the 4 hour back to the downside. Try a little starter here. See if I can chip away at some red. So 30-minute in force at daily continuity flip is why I jumped in here. Looking for a new low a day. Here we go. We got some sellers. Wish I had a little more size, but we're okay. At least I've got some skin in the game here. And if this sells off, it's better than not being in. And then I can always add to it if it looks like we're going to get more follow through to the downside. More evidence for me, proving that you just got to I got to wait for like really 30, 60-minute setups, 4 hour setups, not get so hung up on the 5 and 15. That's where I do consistently well. I'm trying to focus on the 4 hour, 12-hour day. See if we can stay under the daily open. We got a 43 lot at 563. So basically at the daily open here. See if that holds up. Nope, order pulled or filled. I wasn't paying attention. 30 is no longer in force. Widen this a little bit. Actually, I'm closing. Not what I want to see. Rough session. Kind of a pain in the ass, not gonna lie. All right, guys. I'm le- ay, ay, ay. Saying I was gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this short here. I thought I was gonna stop out. I might. Let's see. I don't really want that much risk. We'll see if this works. I'm gonna leave this. Looks like I might stop out, but I'm gonna go get something to eat, kind of regroup, wait for something better. We're not really getting any follow through in either direction. Anything that starts to break bull is sold into, and yeah. There's gold. Let's take a quick look at gold. So 4 hour inside bar on gold, in force. Keep an eye on this while I get some food. Yeah, it's been a rough. I've not done well lately with Globex Open. It's just been kind of tricky trading. A little impatience on my part, but we'll recover. Hopefully, I'll recover. We'll wait for something. I'll wait for something on a higher time frame, and maybe jump into gold here. Gonna kind of keep an eye on it. See what happens here. I think at 8 o'clock usually the metals get moving. 8 Eastern, so in another hour. But other than that, just kind of get my teeth kicked in, which is it's never fun. All right, guys. Hopefully, better luck. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe I can put some money in here and get past some of these later. If not, we'll keep grinding. Let's see. Let me check chat real quick. Liam Z in the strat world. How do you navigate motherbar problems if you're targeting a reclaim motherbar? I mean, you can look for a price to come back through the range, like on the example I showed earlier, NQ from last night. So where was it? Right, say like we break one side of this candle and reclaim the three. There's there's a higher probability we're gonna come back through the other side of the range. So if you break one side of it, we break the low. That's why the 3 2 2s. We always say, fun to do, right? 3 2 2 2 2 2. This just took a while to play out. But when we're stuck like in the middle of this, just chopping around, it's not a good place to take an entry. So that's how I look at it. Like that's why I was eyeballing this 60 here, right? Through that we break one side of the range, we start coming back through. I was looking for this two down green, this failed two to break to the upside, targeting a new high. But when we're just stuck in the middle, like I don't like to get into trades in when we're right in there, when we're just chopping around. Like if you get an entry like at the bottom of the outside bar, the broadening formation, right? This is you'd be looking to maybe enter here and for this to come back through, which it looks like it wants to do. I mean, it's trying to, but there's not really a great. I'm not gonna keep messing with it. I've already taken more trades than I should have. I don't want to keep getting chopped up for another $100, $150. I'll just wait for a better setup and then trade a little more aggressively to get back, down $500, $600 is one or two minis, 10, 20 points back to break even. So that I'm not sweating. But buyers like stepped up here in a big way. Looks like they're trying to go outside 30. I wanted to see this, but earlier was looking like we were going to roll over and make new low a day. And then, it's just nasty business right now. Like, what's his name said over here? Green Day. AK says my long just got stopped out there. Yeah, right. And now now longs are pumping. They're just taking our NQs and leaving us with less money. It's not fair. It's got to be the hedgies and the algos just screwing us over. I'm just kidding, guys. Sometimes the market's just tricky to trade. Billy, I agree. Beth is an amazing character. Just fantastic. Can't wait. Think I'm gonna go watch it now. Eat some dinner. Watch Yellowstone. Regroup here. Still keep in mind, I mean, the 4 hour, I still like the 4 hour, even if it doesn't go outside bar for this failed two down, right? For potential rev strat. They just lured me in with the 30-minute setup, flipping continuity on the day. So it happens. I'm not perfect. Far from perfect. Don't claim to be the best trader. Don't follow me. I'm sharing my experience here and taking trades and trying to make some money. So one thing I learned last night was not to let someone else's bias get in the way of my trades. Like, fine to potentially consider what someone else is saying. Like, if I'm long and somebody's, well, let's use the example from last night. I was short, and people were saying I'm long, not in our not in the stat Discord, just in Top Step, like longs, and I started to doubt myself and tighten my stop up too much. Meanwhile, I don't know who that person is. I don't know how much experience they've got. I don't know anything about them. All I know is what I'm looking at on the charts, and that's what I need to stick with. Like I said, it's fine to consider if somebody's take want to take was taking the opposite trade. Like, all right, let me look and see what are they saying here. And if the answer is nothing, they're just trying to buy a dip. I saw that the entire time we sold off 1,000 points on NQ on the DeepSeek news last weekend. People like long buying the dip, buy the dip, and then it's down another 100 points, and then another 100 points, and then another 100 points, just getting steamrolled. So I know better than to kind of let outside influences impact me, but it did. It definitely got into my head. I'm not gonna blame that. I'm the one over here clicking the buttons and managing the position. But I need to remember, like, hey, if I'm in a trade and I have confidence in the trade, to just lock in and not let what somebody else says interfere with that. So that's what I'm trying to take away. It's the market delivers really difficult learning lessons. It either costs us money, we miss big opportunities, but the best thing for me to do is to walk away with the mindset of, like, what could I have done better? How could I have improved that trade? How could I have been successful? What did I do wrong? That sort of thing. Not just kind of wallow in my misery, which I did to some degree about missing the trade, which is fine for a period of time, but I'm not gonna just let that drag out for days. I'm gonna try and reflect and say, if I had that opportunity again, how would I have managed that trade? Because that trade setup is gonna happen again at some point in the future, right? We see these same setups play out over and over. And so if I focus on what I could have done better, next time that setup appears and I want to move my stop too tight, I can think back to, hey, last time you moved your stop too tight, you missed a really great opportunity. So this time, let's just try sticking to the plan, not fiddling with our stop, and letting the trade play out. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Hopefully, I can catch something, tonight. Get back in the green, pass some XFAs. I like to have a backup account or two. Um, Glad that I just stuck to combines, because being red, a couple $100 in a combine is not nearly as devastating as it is in an XFA. And tonight was just one of those tricky opens where we are still kind of stuck chopping around in this opening range. Right, poked above again, and we're not staying above it. We got to get out of this. Got to get out. All right, guys, I appreciate you all. Hope you learned something. If not, that's fine too. Enjoy hanging out, and I will see you guys later.